Hello and welcome to Wireman's Whimsy. Today we are going to make this card from the All Things Fabulous stamp set, and the greeting is wishing you all things fabulous. The background, I used the script from the Very Versailles set, and then I used the flowers and the leaves from All Things Fabulous. And then I cut the flowers out with the fabulous floral dies. All of these sets are carrying forward into the annual catalog for 2021 to 2022. So let's get started. I used a very vanilla card base and I made it a landscape card. So it is a 8.5 by 11 cut in half at 5.5, or at 4.25, and then scored and folded at 5.5. So it's how you would make a tent card like this, but I've got a fairly heavy front on this and I don't want it to sag and just flatten out, so I've made it as a side opening landscape card. You're going to need a piece of Merry Merlot cut 5.25 by 4, and then another piece of Very Vanilla in 5 by 3.75, so we can mat that up. Plus you'll need a scrap of the Very Vanilla to get 3 flowers out of. I've already done 2 because I don't want you to have to watch me make the flowers. So what I did was I took the crumb cake with the script stamp and I stamped it off twice, so I've just got a faint background. I really like that kind of archived old world type look, so I stamped that, and then I took Pear Pizzazz with some leaves and stamped them around, and I actually used the center of the flower with Saffron to just put some flowers around the background. And then I used the flower stamps and then went back to the flower center in Merry Merlot, and I also stamped the greeting in Merry Merlot. So let's get started and I'll show you how I made the card. The Very Vanilla background, as I said, I stamped with the crumb cake with the script from Very Versailles. It doesn't quite fit across, like up and down on the page, but that's okay. A little bit of a gap here and there. And I needed to leave just a slight, I needed to lift it up a little bit so I could put the All Things Fabulous along the bottom. So I'm going to stamp this off twice and just stamp it down. So it's just a faint covering. I just wanted the background of the card to be just a little bit more, and I didn't want to use a folder to emboss it. I was just wanted it to look a little bit different, and like I say, I really like that kind of old world look, the papery look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the greeting in the Merry Merlot just along the bottom, and it is the wishing you all things fabulous. So I'm just going to line this up along the bottom. Just, it's in a gap of space so that you can actually read it. And while I've got the Merry Merlot out, I will make the flowers. This is a 3-step stamping one, and I'm going to use the same color for it all. I'm going to use the Merry Merlot. So that means that I need a light value, so I'm going to stamp this off twice and then stamp it down. And I'm going to need the second value, the middle piece, so I'm just going to stamp it off once and then line it up and put it down. And then the middle is first value, so I just stamp it right onto the card. Okay. So I'm just going to put this back up over here. I need to clean this stamp off because I'm going to use it again with the Saffron. I will use my Stampin' Cut and Emboss to cut this flower out. As soon as I figure which way around the die goes, there we go. And this cuts out really nice and cleanly. I'm going to sandwich that up, run it through the cut and emboss machine, and then I'll have all 3 flowers. The first 2 flowers are I just used Stamp and Seal and adhered it directly to the card front. The third one I did use dimensionals, so it pops up just a little bit. Okay, so we're finished with those. Now I'm going to take my card front and I'm going to stamp some leaves in Pear Pizzazz. And you can just put your finger in the ink pad like I did. So you can start putting your leaves down, and this is first value. So I'm just stamping them kind of in a bit of an arc around. You can just pop some a little bit further out if you like. Make sure you've got some coming from the bottom, and then maybe one on the side. So we've got those leaves. And if you want to know kind of where to put the leaves and where to put the flowers, you can always just place these down how you want them so you know where you need to put the flowers in. So I'm going to go ahead and take that flower center and the So Saffron, and I'm just going to pop some little yellow flowers, just like it's a bouquet, and they're in the background. You can just put them on randomly, and if you cover them up with the other flowers, that's fine. Not a problem. Just going to pop that one down there, and I am going to pop another one down at the bottom on this one, just to see how it looks. So that is all the stamping done. I'm just going to adhere this to the card front, or to the mat, and then I'm going to adhere the mat to the card front, just so that we can get an idea of where to put the flowers down, where the edge of the card is. So we'll put that like that. You could dimensionalize this onto the card front if you like. Again, however you decide to make the card is up to you. These are just guidelines, and we just lay that down. And now we can start playing with our flowers and decide where we want them. And we can, if I put these like this, and then I can dimensionalize this one here. So what I'll do is I will just put some Stamp and Seal on the back of this one and put it down, and then on the back of this one, there we go, and pop that down, and then the dimensionals on the back of this one. I just put 2 on here. Wow, that's just, there we go. See, that one didn't want to come off. So we will then place this one here, and our card is finished. So thank you very much for watching today. I hope you enjoy this card, and that you can take your own look for it. And if you wanted to purchase anything in the video, please use the links below, and we will see you next time. Thanks so much.